Imagine a dinosaur pack, stalking their prey with cunning intelligence. They communicate in clicks and hisses. They hunt as a coordinated team. They are large, ferocious, and they have no feathers. This is the Velociraptor you know from the movies. But what if that creature is a complete fabrication? What if it's based on a different dinosaur entirely? Today on DinoT, we're going to step out of Hollywood's Jurassic Park and into the real world. We're going to travel back millions of years to a different place entirely to uncover the truth about one of the most misunderstood predators in history. The real Velociraptor was small, it had feathers, and it didn't hunt in coordinated packs. But don't be fooled. The reality of this creature is far more fascinating, and in some ways, even more terrifying than the legend. To find a real Velociraptor, we don't go to a tropical island. We go to a desert. The late Cretaceous period, about 75 to 71 million years ago. Our destination, the arid, sandy landscapes of the Gobi Desert, across what is now Mongolia and China. This was a harsh, semi-arid environment, but it was far from empty. It was a vibrant world filled with an incredible diversity of life, from small mammals to the massive plant-eating Protoceratops. And this is a crucial point that Hollywood always gets wrong. There is no evidence that the Velociraptor ever lived at the same time as the famous Tyrannosaurus rex. The two predators were separated by millions of years in an entire continent. The Velociraptor had its own ecosystem, its own prey, and its own rivals. It was a specialist, a master of its domain. Now, let's talk about the most common misconception: the sheer size of the Velociraptor. The movie versions are massive, standing as tall as a human and weighing hundreds of pounds. The truth? The real Velociraptor was much, much smaller. At maturity, it measured around 5 to 7 feet long, 1.5 to 2.07 meters, and was only about 1.6 feet high at the hip, 0.5 meters. It weighed about 43 pounds, 19.7 kilograms at most. To put that in perspective, it was about the size of a large turkey. This makes it nearly 8 times smaller than the Hollywood version, which was actually based on its much larger cousin, DinoT. But don't let its small size fool you. The Velociraptor was a lean, fast, and agile hunter. Its body was built for speed with a light but strong skeleton. Its long lower leg bones allowed for long strides, perfect for a short burst sprinter, and its speed was impressive. Some estimates put its top speed at up to 40 miles per hour, 64 kilometers per hour, in short bursts. That's faster than most professional cyclists. And its body was a finely tuned instrument of efficiency. Its long, stiff tail, reinforced by a series of bony rods and ossified tendons, was once thought to be completely rigid for stability while running and jumping. However, at least one fossil shows a tail preserved in a sideways curve, suggesting it was more flexible than we previously thought, possibly acting as a stabilizer and rudder for high-speed turns. It's a key distinction between it and a more power-focused dinosaur like Utahraptor. And another major detail that Hollywood got wrong: the feathers. Scientific evidence, including the discovery of other feathered dromaeosaurids like DinoT and Microraptor, makes it certain that the Velociraptor had feathers. In fact, paleontologists found a Velociraptor forearm with over 10 quill knobs, which are bony bumps where large, long feathers would have been anchored. These would have been on its arms and tail, much like a modern bird. Since it couldn't fly, these feathers likely served other purposes, like helping it with propulsion when running up steep inclines, keeping its eggs warm, or even social display. It would have looked less like a scaly reptile and more like a terrifying, flightless bird. We have to talk about its most famous weapon, the sickle claw. This razor-sharp, curved claw was on the second toe of each foot, held up off the ground to keep its edge pristine. The claw itself was about 2.6 inches, 6.5 centimeters, long, a perfect piercing tool. The movies often show velociraptors using this claw to slash open their prey and disembowel them. But the evidence tells a different story. Its jaws were also relatively narrow and delicate, not suited for a strong killing bite on a large struggling victim. Instead, its main method was likely to pierce and penetrate. And we have direct evidence of this. The single most famous fossil discovery is of a velociraptor locked in combat with a Protoceratops. The two animals were buried alive during a sudden sandstorm, preserved in a final, brutal moment. This fossil shows the velociraptor's famous sickle claw plunged deep into the neck of the Protoceratops, likely piercing a major blood vessel or the windpipe, causing massive blood loss or suffocation. This incredible fossil tells us that the sickle claw was a precise, deadly tool designed to pierce vital organs, not to slash wildly. And its other weapons were just as specialized. Its arms were long and bird-like, ending in 3 curved claws. These weren't just for show. In that same fighting dinosaurs fossil, we see the velociraptor's hands gripping the head of the Protoceratops, helping it maintain its grip during the struggle. The teeth were another specialized tool. They were sharp, razor-thin, and curved with serrations on the back, perfect for tearing meat and holding on to smaller, squirming prey like lizards and amphibians. The velociraptor was also a master of senses. The shape of its skull suggests it had a keen sense of hearing across a wide range of frequencies, a perfect tool for tracking its prey by sound. And its vision was sharp, with good binocular vision. But here's the most surprising part. A study of its eye sockets, comparing them to modern reptiles and birds, suggests the velociraptor was likely a nocturnal predator. It hunted under the cover of darkness, using its razor-sharp senses to stalk its prey while they slept. A perfect, stealthy killing machine. And what about the most iconic myth of all? The pack hunting. The idea of a coordinated, intelligent pack of raptors terrorizing their victims is a cornerstone of the movies. But in reality, there is very little evidence to suggest that the velociraptor was a social animal. No specimens have ever been found in close proximity to one another. In fact, the evidence suggests quite the opposite. Paleontologists have discovered velociraptor fossils with severe injuries, including bite marks on the skull and broken ribs, suggesting brutal fights between rivals. These vicious battles, often ending in death, were likely caused by a scarcity of resources in their harsh desert habitat. The reality is far from a cooperative pack. It was a ruthless, aggressive, and highly territorial hunter. So there you have it. The velociraptor of science is a far cry from the movie monster. It was a feathered, turkey-sized sprinter built for short bursts of speed. It used a precision sickle claw to pierce and puncture its prey, not to slash and tear. It hunted alone, not in a pack, and it fought fiercely with its own kind. It was an incredibly successful creature. Thanks to its flexibility as both a hunter and an opportunistic scavenger, a crucial trait for surviving in its harsh environment. And it's a perfect example of how the real, scientific truth can be just as compelling, just as awe-inspiring as any fictional legend. We've journeyed through the arid deserts of the late Cretaceous and uncovered the truth about the feathered, turkey-sized hunter, the Velociraptor. We learned that the real creature was a master of stealth and precision, a far cry from the scaly pack-hunting monster of the movies. But in that same cinematic world, a different beast rose to fame. A dinosaur so massive, so bizarrely equipped, that it single-handedly challenged the T-Rex for the title of king. It was a predator of myth and legend, a giant with a sail on its back and a jaw like a crocodile. It was a king of two worlds, the land and the water. But much like our friend the Velociraptor, Hollywood got this one wrong too. Join us next time on DinoT as we head to the ancient river systems of North Africa to uncover the truth about the mighty Spinosaurus.